I'm Gutierrez, and this is Miami Heat Courtside. When it comes to Heat season previews, the questions often break down to two overall themes. Can the Heat win a championship in the first season of the Super Friends? And then there's the possibly even more difficult question of, is the Heat good enough to challenge the Bulls' regular season record of 72 wins? Let's tackle those chronologically, starting with the regular season record. It's very hard to argue that in the playoffs, the better, more talented teams will almost always win in a 7-game series. In the regular season, though, there are plenty of opportunities for random upsets and bad luck losses. So for the Heat to reach that 72-win mark, a lot of factors will have to work in its favor. But let's assume for a moment that Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh are all healthy for a full season. Let's also assume that this group desperately wants to prove all their detractors wrong and have a brilliant regular season. At that point, it becomes a numbers game, and here's what that looks like. The Heat has 11 games combined against the three other perceived Eastern Conference contenders, the Magic, Celtics, and Bulls. In the Western Conference, the most threatening games will come against the Lakers, Thunder, Mavericks, Spurs, and let's just throw in the Nuggets as long as Carmelo's still there. With those 10 games, that's a total of 21, with 11 of those coming on the road. Now, even if the Heat is great right off the bat, it's hard to predict the team will do better than 13-8 in those games. Not because it's impossible to do better, but because even that record against those teams would be impressive. That would leave the Heat with just 2 games of wiggle room to end the season at 72-10, and just 1 loss if it wants to reach 73 wins. Even the Bulls lost to a 21-win Raptors team and a 35-win Nuggets team in their record-breaking season. The advantage the Heat has, though, is there are 3 legitimate all-stars on this team that can take over a game if anyone else is having a below-average night. The motivation that it takes to win can wane during the second game of a back-to-back set in mid-March, for example, but it'll be the rare occasion when LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh are all sluggish. So that's the edge this team has in that chase, should it ever actually become a realistic chase. We know this much. If the Heat gets off to a slow start, the entire conversation will die down very quickly. We'll discuss the Heat's championship chances in the next edition of Miami Heat Courtside. For the Miami Herald, I'm Gutierrez.